Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are inside because it is pouring rain outside, and we are rigging some dolphin bellies for our sword fishing trip tomorrow. And we're going to show you how to effectively rig these baits for when you go sword fishing, that you can get your swordfish. Let's jump right in. So first thing that you want to do is you want to be able to go ahead and cut the stomach cavity out of your dolphin like this. And again, these are a little bit smaller. We've been having a real hard time this year in Miami finding dolphin that are even 20-inch, our minimum size limit that they could be. So we've got to work with these little 20 inches right now because this is really all that we've been getting. But you go ahead and open up the stomach cavity, and you're going to go ahead and lay the hook in it and see where your hook is going to come out on the other side. Then you're going to go ahead and puncture this right down the middle of the stomach cavity, right through the belly, being very careful because you have your fingers on the other side. Okay, now your hook is perfectly set into your bait. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is take your ice pick, and you're going to make a hole through the eye of the bait. You're going to go all the way through. All right guys, so now you made the hole with your ice pick, and then you're going to take your leader. We're using 300-pound Linger & Pitman clear with our 2mm aluminum sleeves that you're going to crimp on, and we're going to go ahead and slide the leader through the hole that we made. And then you're going to come around and go ahead and slide it through, and you're going to go ahead and crimp your hook in place in your bait. And again guys, you don't want to make this overly tight because when you sew this bait up, you want it to lay in here natural without twisting your bait, because if it twists your bait is not going to swim properly. Then you're going to go get your crimpers, and when we crimp this, and I'll show you now, I'll put it up to the camera when we're done. We like to crimp it right down the middle, giving enough space on the sides, on the front and the back, so that you don't chafe your line, because this could go right through and your crimp will start chafing your line and break it off. The next thing that we're going to do is we want to get our hook and tie it in place. We don't want our hook to be moving around, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut some of our floss. We're using 50-pound tacky wax rigging floss. We're going to go ahead and put it through our needle. We like to use a closed eye needle because the open eye needle it's open, as it's called, and that little piece, as it's sliding through the bait, starts getting caught up in the bait. And after you start rigging for a while and you're pulling it through, that needle continues to open and open, and we found that it breaks very easily. So we like to use the closed eye needle. The only disadvantage of that is that once you get the needle through the fish, you got to pull your thread out of one end. But it's a lot easier going through your bait, we feel, with a closed eye needle. So now that we've done that, we're going to get this rigging floss on the other side of their pec fins here. And again guys, this knot doesn't have to be very tight. The whole idea of this, keep in mind when you're rigging your bait, that you don't want to alter the natural state of the bait. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and just pull that down there. It's just going to hold the hook, but you don't want to twist your bait, and then your bait is not going to swim properly. And if your bait is not swimming properly, it's not going to be a good presentation, and you're going to get a lot less bites and possibly no bites at all. So you want to go ahead and trim this up. That's just going to hold that hook right there. Now we're ready to go ahead and start sewing our dolphin belly shut. We're going to go ahead and cut some more of our tacky wax. Now this, guys, I would tell you, go ahead and cut a little bit bigger of a piece, because you've got to go down the belly cavity to the end and then back up the belly cavity to where you started. And the last thing that you want to do is run short when you are sewing this up. You want to make sure you have enough to make it all the way to the end and back. So we've got this now here. And we're gonna go ahead and get started at the beginning here. And all you're gonna do is just go all the way down this thing, similar to how your shoelaces are in your shoes, that it is like alternating. You're gonna go down all the belly cavity, and then you're gonna leave yourself a space so that you're going to alternate your stitching on the way back up to the beginning of the belly cavity where your hook is, or the first stitch that you put in. And again, guys, when you're doing this, I mean, you want it to be snug, but don't pull so much that, again, you're altering the bait. Your bait needs to be naturally straight. You're just closing this up, but you don't want it to come out that it's so tight that you're twisting your bait, and then it's not going to swim right. And again, there's no points for doing this super quick. You're making your own bait. You want this thing to be perfect, because you spend a ton of money to go sword fishing on fuel, ice, gear, everything that you drink, sandwiches, to get out there. And you want your bait. If your bait's not swimming right, you're not going to catch fish. So take your time, get your bait done correctly, nice and slow, to really give you the best chances when you get out there to catch your fish. So now we've gotten to the end, and we're going to start coming back up the bait. We are going to alternate the holes that we went through. You're just going to keep repeating the same step all the way until you get to your first one. So again, if you can imagine how your shoelaces are in your shoe, this looks just like that. You're just going all the way up, alternating your stitching to go ahead and sew the belly cavity closed. And guys, you're gonna love making your own baits. I mean, it's really cool. You're gonna go out, get your skirts. You're gonna put your passion and love into making your own baits, and it's really rewarding when you catch swordfish on your own bait that you made. Now we're here at the end, and you want to do the same thing that we did to the hook, is we just want to go ahead and tie this closed so it doesn't unravel. And again, guys, if you missed it at the beginning of the video, we are using 50-pound tacky wax rigging floss. Now the next step that we're going to do is you've got to place your skirt over your bait. You go ahead and, when you're done, guys, trim these off, but you want to go ahead and place your skirt over it so that it swims correctly, and it prevents washout from the water going through, because you're essentially trolling these. But when you lay your skirt on here and you kind of see where your skirt is going to land, you want to go ahead and trim your skirt so it fits to your bait. We're going to go ahead and put a pink one on this, and I have a lot of people ask me, you know, what colors, right? And I'll tell you, we've tried every color under the sun, and there's really not one color that we could say we catch more fish with one color or another color. We seem to have caught fish on every color that you could think of. I myself like pink, but it's just my own personal preference. I guess it's what you want to look at when you're when you're dropping your bait down. but that looks beautiful right there. Now the last thing that you want to do, guys, is you need to stitch your skirt and hold it in place. And the reason for this is that when you're sword fishing, you do not want a swordfish to whack your bait and your skirt slides up your leader, and then your swordfish is chasing your skirt and whacking the skirt, and he's nowhere near the hook. So you don't want that to happen. You want to keep it attached, because when a swordfish hits this, you want him right next to where the hook is. And so to do this, you just go right through the skirt, through your bait, out the other side. You're going to pull your floss out. Now you've got the floss going all the way through it. And you're going to do the same thing. Go ahead and give this thing a little knot right here, just to hold it in place. And you'll have no problems when a swordfish hits this. You know, people say the bite, but swordfish really don't bite per se. What they do is they hit their prey with their bill so they could stun or kill it. And then once they hit it with their bill, that's where they come and they swallow it. And so that's why you want to make sure that your skirt is perfectly in place. And guys, if you take a look at this, you've got a perfectly rigged dolphin belly ready to go sword fishing. Guys, give this a go. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions when you're rigging your own bait. We'll be glad to help you out.